we going to do about it? So when we talk about it, okay, are we just going to wait for any kind of crisis to happen, like food crisis or this global crisis happen? Or are we going to do something proactive and do something, create solutions before it happens? Like, those companies who sort of like when during SARS happened, right? They already said, okay, I prepare if there's another SARS that come in, which is now in the form of COVID, they are prepared. And a lot of these companies who did that, they actually made profits, a lot of profits during COVID time. They were prepared and they were not 100%, they were not like totally wiped out. They could sustain, and some of them even thrived during the COVID times. So we were in between that, because we were halfway there, but we managed to survive and also even thrive after that. And then we said, okay, what can we do to be able to create long-term sustainability? So we actually learned about sustainability, and that's when about the same time that Mushida and I got involved in horses.
Yeah.
Maybe we want to share the horse story.
Okay, on my 50th birthday, I wanted to give myself a birthday gift. So I just bought a package to learn horse riding. And it was just a journey that started also impromptu for me to just start and experience how riding a horse is like. And that just eight sessions that I had with a coach was totally transformational. I started to feel the energetics of working with a horse, communicating with a horse. And mind you, that was the really, really basic time that I had with horses. I was totally new. I had no experience. I couldn't even lift my body up to do a trot with a horse. But that was then, and how I found over the journey, and I signed up more packages and signed up more packages with a coach. I discovered that, my intuition started to be more stronger. I manifested things a lot faster and energetically get connected with these animals, with horses. And I could communicate through signals with them, like what I felt they were going through. And that is all through the journey of horses, with horses. And when I incorporated the work that I already been doing with leadership, with team building, with team bonding, with love and respect, with forgiveness, with intuition, tapping onto your intuition, and using horses as our guides, I found that the journey was so transformational. And I can share about like 1.5 years ago how I was like when I first started riding horses. I couldn't lift my body up. Now I can, I find that my legs are stronger. I can squat.
On the spot, you can gallop from the horse, right?
I can. For me, physically, like before, when I wanted to pray, it was like it was a little bit of pain on in my knees. But then now, with God's blessings, I am able to squat and pray with ease. And also, I found that I started to be a lot braver. There were a lot of things that I didn't say, my thoughts and my feelings, and it got me to a point where it was too late. Like, for example, people started using me, and I was not clear with my boundaries. So when I started my horse riding journey, I became very clear on my boundaries. I became very clear of exactly what I want in my community, in my life, with the people that I work with. And, some people say, oh, if you set too tight boundaries, you're going to lose clients. And you know what? Yes, I've lost clients, but the clients that was not adding value to the work that I was doing and the work that I am doing, the kind of clients that are just not right for me to be working together. I mean, I find it's just a waste of time and money when there's no impact and the action was not taken. Energy, there's no right exchange of energy. So when I tightened my boundaries, I've discovered that I was working less, having more fun, and making more money. When I was doing all my calculations last 2 years, last year and this year, and I found that my growth in terms of business, income, and also I had more time.
And you were horse riding most of the time, right? Yes. For time, so she was horse riding. but the business still grew.
This
Yeah.
business still
Less
grew.
work, but more because of the energy inside. When you have more energy, you attract more abundance and
And I helped more
opportunities.
people. I was working with the right women, and I was and I wanted to adopt horses, and now we have two. You know, we started from zero. So that was how it was like in my journey. And what I felt in my heart when I shared this with Zil, why the EQUEEN leadership. The word EQUEEN that I use, EQUEEN, is actually a play of the word equine, you know, EQUIEN, right? So equine, meaning that, you know, it is working with horses, and the queen mindset, which the community that I started, also the feminine leadership community that I started during COVID, is an extension of this community. The EQUEEN leadership community is something that I want, that's just so amazing that, you know, it's transformational. And this is why I wanted to reach out and be able to help people in their journey of transformation to use horses as a guide. And it is totally transformational.
Like Mushida, right? My journey was a bit slightly different than Mushida when it comes to horses, right? Because when during COVID, we saw a lot of things happening, like a lot of entrepreneurs who had to close down their business, you know, some even had to commit suicide. And along the number of years, right, even like we know celebrities, famous people, even they committed suicide. And I don't want to mention any names out of respect to them and their families, but a lot of them, even that we say people who commit suicide are people who have problems, they have no money, they have nothing in their life. But you know, when we see people who have everything, they have fame, they have money, they have a lot of things, but they still commit suicide. So it's not about the money per se, or not about the wealth you have. It's actually a lot to do with internal, right? And I feel like for myself, a horse riding journey is actually, it takes you internally. Like for me, I was not like Mushida. Mushida had a lot of classes. He was very consistent in the classes. Like for me, I was overweight. I couldn't go to a lot of horse riding lessons because I was overweight. There must be 90 kg and below, and that time I was overweight. So I had to go to the long way. I had to go to places that accept me. But those places who accept me, they didn't have the right coaches. You know, they didn't talk about safety. So I fell down, you know, I hurt myself. And then I had coaches who scream at me, but never give me any solutions. Like, okay, if I'm having this problem, I cannot get the horse to move, or I cannot get the horse to canter or something. She asked me to control the horse, but how do I control her? But they didn't give me solutions, you know. So I had the journey of struggling to find the right coaches, trying to overcome the pain that I was having inside, internal body pain, and I had back pain as well. But I was very one thing about like Mushida was very persistent in the lesson. I was persistent in my research and study of horses, the right coaches, and finally I found one coach who was very in line with what I want to do. He's very spiritual, very patient, very caring, and under his coaching, I was able to step by step from, you know, like Mushida, I cannot even trot, cannot even pick myself up. I was able to trot, and then eventually I was able to canter on the horse, which is sort of the best feeling in the world, you know. So what we found out, right, what happens, right, from what we have learned later on, COVID is just one part of the crisis. There could be other kinds like food crisis, environmental crisis, which has already happened now. So what are we going to do to overcome that? And it's not just about having resources. It's about having the inner sustainability, the inner strength to overcome that. And we find, right, horses is one of the fastest way to accelerate your inner strength, your mental health. And like for us, we have seen so many, like, let me give you a few examples of cases that we have seen. Ourselves was, we had back pain, you know, we had to massage, we went to doctor to find how to cure the back pain. We couldn't do it. But then we started riding horses. In a few months, the back pain is totally gone. Like my back pain now is totally gone. There's no more back pain at all, you know, which is quite surprisingly because I suffered for so many years. And then losing weight is one thing. And when we started doing our programs incorporating horses, we saw our participants, one girl, I think I can mention her name because she shared it publicly. Haryati is one of our clients and students. She had 2 years, she had a swollen leg. She went to the hospital, went for massage, couldn't solve it. But she rode the horse for 1 hour, half an hour to 1 hour. The swelling was reduced to the point that you can't really see it. And the most important, the pain was gone in just about half an hour to 1 hour of horse riding. You know, and she's totally new to horse riding. So I felt that was something more than that. So that's when I started going into equine therapy, equine assisted therapy, you know, and we found that horses for many years tens of years or decades has been used for therapy for children with autistic, learning disability, people who have stress, people who have trauma, you know. But the thing was, we found that not many people knew about this. Even like for us in the beginning, we didn't know anything about horses. We just got into it. We got a calling and went into it. And the more study we do, we were so amazed by the benefits of what horses can give. And we felt that sad that a lot of people do not know about horses. In the whole life, because we have been so commercialized in cities, we never go to the country or we never go to the outskirts to see horses. We never get the benefit of horses. So that's why when we saw all this, like we said, okay, to be able to overcome all these crises in the future, like we all must be a very strong community, must be internally strong, must have all the skills to overcome the crisis. Like we must be able to plant our own food, have our own farm and all this. So that's where right now why we are doing the EQUEEN leadership and EQUEEN Club, because we want to get people with the like-minded people to come together, especially those who really want to improve themselves, accelerate their success in their life and business through horses. Because when we incorporate horses, it's very fast. Like Musha said,
The
we work
transformation
less,
is fast.
get more abundance.
Yeah.
Our inner strength becomes stronger. We become healthier. We become more intuitive. We become clearer in terms of clarity. Our leadership becomes better because we will have confidence on the horse and how to guide the horse instead of letting the horse guide us or horse lead us. We must lead the horse. So it's similar to us and human beings. We must be able to lead human beings as well without like for us, we use love and respect. You know, like we use love and respect on horses, like our horses, Luhai and Yapsuk, our latest horse. They respond very well to the energy of love and respect. If you beat them and they go to trauma, and they might follow you out of fear, but then they will have trauma when doing other things. They might do something like suddenly gallop or do something very dangerous to the rider in the future. So when we use love and respect, they are very synchronized. They're very happy to go out. And then like we went out for the first time with Yapsuk and Luhai, they were so happy with each other. They did not bite each other. They did not try to bark or anything at all like that. And Yapsuk is a new horse. We got him, not even a proper training session yet, but out of faith, giving love and respect, we bring him back, and he's even better than Luhai. In some cases, he was very calm. You know,
he was very calm.
Yeah.
He was so happy to go inside the jungle, and the thing about him is we got him at a time when I'm more educated about horses, right?
Yeah.
So my energy is very much in tune with communicating with them. So when I was riding him, the communication was very much energy based, right? And he felt it and I felt it.
Yeah.
And I was sharing this with Zil just now. It was so amazing. And this is not the first time that happened. It has happened with Luhai before. But yeah, so after our trail ride, we came out of the jungle, the forest, and I started crying. And I was like, wow, I was like crying, you know, the tears were coming out.
Understand why you
But it was just a feeling that I got. It's a feeling. And the feeling didn't come from me. It came from the energy of the horse. It came from So it was what I felt at that time energetically was so much gratitude. And I felt so happy. And I think, and I believe that energy came from Yapsuk, and I felt it and I cried and I manifested that, you know. So a lot of things that we could work together with horses, you can also apply in your life.
Learn so many things from horses.
Yes, and because that I'm also supporting people on growing their income, manifesting whatever your dreams, goals, and desires, your business, attracting the right clients, and these are all the things that I personally manifested myself. And with the horses, it was like I would say tenfold, morefold. I don't know. I can't put a number to that. But I would love to share this with all of you as to why, you know, we must incorporate the EQUEEN culture into our lives, into our leadership, how we lead ourselves, how we lead our lives. And that energy, that is love and respect. When you communicate with horses, that is love and respect. When you are when you are training them, that's with love and respect. When you are leading them, that's love and respect. When you are riding them, there's love and respect. When you take care of them, there's love and respect. And when you can do this all, it translates in all other areas of your life: parenting, physical strength, resilience, focus, manifesting, leadership, being business owner, a person who has a no excuses policy. So all of these things all add up, and it's just so beautiful that it all comes together.
Yeah.
And my discovery with horses is something that I love to incorporate now with my work. It is like something that really gels everything up and makes it a lot faster for the delivery. And I want to share this with all of you, and that's why we're starting this community, and would like to invite each and every one of you to come on Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
Malaysian time,
Singapore time.
We'll give you the QR code in a short while for you to screenshot. And also the link in the FB live that I'm going to
come and join in the FB live, the Zoom call that we are going to do. You can ask questions, and it is totally free for you to join the EQUEEN Club. And it's the first 50 people who join in and opt in to be a part of the EQUEEN Club. It's totally free for you. There's going to be so many opportunities. We'll share more on Saturday. So many things that we would love to support you, and we'd love to engage with you, and we'd love to get to know you. So
I'd like to also acknowledge some people that's watching. I can see from here.
Aisha
is watching. Aisha is also watching. Aisha is one of our clients and students as well, and also a very good friend. Involved with the horses. So now we're actually collaborating with her after being with her for many years, right? Collaborating with her, we do horses and she does essential oils. Also a very powerful tool to overcome like any kind of mental health, stress, any health problem. So when we combine, we notice, right? When we combine essential oils with horses together, the therapy is very fast. And even essential oils can be used on horses as well. That's the amazing thing. Like our horse, I've had a colic problem. It's a problem when they have either lack of food or they have some like wind in the body, right? We just took Aisha asked her to put ginger on the horse, let him sniff, and Mushira put some on the stomach, and Luhai was totally okay after that. You know, before he was like in a very bad mood. You can see like very agitated. Right? But after putting the thing, he was totally okay with his old self again.
So happy.
So that's why we love to collaborate with people. If you feel that you want to be long-term with us and find long-term sustainability, especially with horses, is amazing. And you have to go into to experience yourself. You don't have to be like straight away. We're not going to force you to ride a horse and straight away be good at it, but at least be around horses and feel the energy of horses. Even being around horses, giving a carrot, patting them on the head where the blessings are, that is already a process of manifesting whatever you want as well, and a lot of abundance in your life, you know. So what we're going to do is we will give you the QR code, and I'm going to share the QR code, and then at the same time, if you can see this QR code, it's going to be on the screen in a short while. You can scan it. It takes a bit of time to go on. So if you see this QR code, then you can scan it, and then you can register for our event this Saturday. And then for the good news is for the first 50 people who register for the EQUEEN, we're going to give the EQUEEN membership free for the first people who register, 50 people who register. So also in the FB live, okay, now you can see because I'm watching the FB live feed now. The thing just came on, this QR code. Okay, so you can scan this QR code and then register for our intro to EQUEEN Club this Saturday, 8:30 p.m. Malaysian time, and then we will see you there, and then we will go deep into about EQUEEN, the leadership. Can even give you some amazing things to apply in your life as well, so you can also benefit during the webinar itself.
So with that, I'm going to stop the share screen now. So if you can, you screenshot that QR code and get yourself registered this Saturday. We'll see you Saturday evening in the Zoom, and you can ask questions. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Lots of love.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, good night. Bye-bye.